Hi, this is Dr. Scalise with Foster's Accounting and Financial Services. I am coming to you with a small piece about small business, the Small Business Administration's Paycheck Protection Program. The Small Business Administration is a portion of the government that is there to support and help small businesses. And with the signing of the $2 trillion bill in middle of March, for economic relief during this COVID-19 disaster. And it's really an economic disaster as much as a health disaster. They've made this available to small businesses. So what exactly is it? Paycheck Protection Program is designed to give small businesses money so that they can try to keep people employed and not let people go. So take a look at who's eligible. You got basically, if you got 500 employees or less, you're sole proprietor, independent contractor, maybe some 501c3s, veteran organizations may take a look at this as well. SBA has some allowances where you can have more than 500 employees in some industries. So if you are just over that 500 employees mark, or maybe even considerably, you'll still want to take a look at that. It's all based on industry, and you'll see that I've placed a footnote here. And the footnotes are at the bottom with links, take you directly to that information. So you can take a look and see if maybe that applies to you and if you can apply for these loans. If you are in the food or hospitality industry, very important, you may have more than 500 employees so long as each of your locations or places of business have less than 500 employees localized there or working there. Again, you have more than 500 employees, you're in the food or hospitality industry, you may still be able to get this forgivable loan so long as at each of your locations you have less than 500 employees working at those locations. Most importantly, 75%, if you want the loan to be forgiven, must be used on payroll. So you can use the other 25% on rent, utilities, etc., but 75% of it must go to your payroll for it to be forgiven. And what does it mean to say it's forgiven? It just means that you're not going to have to pay it back. Essentially, it's a grant. And this is a fantastic loan package. I mean, the government is really, if we can get this money, obviously there's a lot of complaint out there about the banks not, or the lenders not giving out the money, and we'll handle that in a separate video. But, I mean, you can be forgiven the full amount of the loan as long as you follow these requirements. And this is an excellent feature as well, and that is that there is no requirement for a personal guarantee or collateral to be put up to be able to get the loan. That's almost unheard of in many cases. So something else to just pay careful attention to, and I've made some detailed notes here, but you can read that yourself, is, be careful if you reduce your employees' salaries. You may only get a portion of the forgiveness, so 80%. Government might say, okay, well, you kept your employees, but you reduced their salaries, so we're going to expect you to pay back 20%, and we'll forgive the other 80%. So watch that. If you've already lowered your employees' salaries, just be very careful on the way that you apply for this and report it. Loan data, maturity of 2 years, you get an interest rate of 1%. It is my understanding that you will have to pay back the 1% at the end of the loan, whether the principal is forgiven in its totality or not. There's a link there. You can go get started on your application. The government wants us to take advantage of this money for a small business, so I encourage you to do so, especially if you're struggling. Maybe you don't have the solvency or liquidity to continue operating with your employees. Take a look at this. And this was just approved, or made accessible, I should say, 3 days ago, April 3rd. Today is April 6th. So although the bill was signed back in March, this has just become available. So I would get on top of this. If you're a small business and see that you're going to have any economic difficulty, this might be something to take advantage of, especially because it's forgivable. That's almost a no, never mind whether you should do it or not. Take a look at affiliated persons here. So that might be a small percentage holder of a S Corp. It could be a board of directors or trustees. It could be any of these people that perhaps are silent investors or not even involved on the day-to-day operations with your organization or company. But that they might be economically impacted by the, I guess, economic distress your corporation or company may be going through. The SBA has a serious list of details on affiliated persons, and said the funds can go to certain affiliated persons, obviously with all the stipulations you would expect from the government. So take a look. I put a link here down at the bottom. You can go take a look at the affiliated persons stipulations, if that applies to you, or if that's something that you need to think about. Other than that, again, I know it can be a frustration being able to get the loans from the banks or the lenders, and we will see how that plays out going forward. I'll be addressing that in a later video. Other than that, stay safe, stay well, stay healthy, and take advantage of this forgivable loan program if this applies to you and you're having difficulties with your solvency or liquidity.